In the history of intercollegiate athletics, there's never been a window of the last year or two where there's been more transformation. And I think that's part of the reason why we're really lucky to have a guy like Greg Sankey as our commissioner, who's about 5 times smarter than the guy who's the second smartest guy in intercollegiate athletics, okay? We are blessed, and he is way ahead of the curve. I don't agree, he and I don't always agree with everything, but man, he's 10 times smarter than me. There's a ton of change, and so you talk about the transfer portal. I'm not in favor of it. I don't like it. The pundits said, well, if the coaches can transfer without penalty, why shouldn't the kids? I get that. But there aren't 1,600 coaches in the transfer portal. We're not all trying to leave. And when we leave, we got to sell the house, we got to pick up the wife, hope she's happy with the move, and the kids got to change school and break up with their friends and their girlfriends. It's not easy to move. Kid decides he wants to leave, he grabs his cell phone, his bag, and he's out the door. We're teaching him to flee, not fight. So often when I've had guys that have stuck it out, they have wound up being, more successful for sticking out than any place they ever left. Davion Mitchell would be a great exception to that rule. So happy for Davion that he went and did what he did. My wife said to me this morning, why'd you run Davion off? I went, what are you kidding me? It's like, why did you play Jared in front of him? I said, honey, Jared was a sophomore, Davion was a freshman. Jared was a little better than Davion. They both played together. By the way, when I talk about the championships Davion Mitchell won, I love it. I love listening to Scott Drew. Fantastic. What an interview. Yeah, Davion Mitchell won a high school championship. And you know what he did his freshman year at Auburn? Won the SEC regular season championship. Yeah, then he went to Baylor and they won a national. I get it. They leave the Auburn part out. But most of the time, the kids have done better when they've stuck. That said, the rule's the rule. The rule's the rule. And so we're gonna participate in the transfer portal. Auburn as a university, because we're not big in number, it's a tough place to transfer to. Our majors, our colleges are really strong, highly ranked, national recognition. But as a result, we're not an easy place to transfer to. We don't have easy majors. We don't have great flexibility in those majors because our programs are so strong. That's going to be a problem and a challenge that I think our university is going to begin to address. But we lost 4 guys, and we brought 4 guys in. And, without being critical, I think we actually improved, maybe even dramatically, because we got to get some guys that could come in and play right away. And so we're excited about that. Name, image, and likeness. It's going to change a lot of things. It's going to change the way the NCAA and how they adjudicate and what their role is necessarily. I think because states are different, therefore I think conferences are going to be different. It's going to be really hard to have that one-size-fits-all model. I don't know how it's all going to play out. I know fundamentally it's good that the kids can be able to profit from their own name, image, and likeness. It's the American way. It's what made our country great. Therefore, we got to figure it out as we kind of go through this process. The NCAA was slow in giving real scholarships. I think the progress that they made with cost of education and more than tuition room and board were the right things to do. It was just too little, too late, and now they've kind of lost control of that model. The Supreme Court said so in a huge whopping verdict and margin, and so now we're just going to have to see our way through. But fortunately, I think as a conference we'll kind of all see our way through, and the kids will benefit, and we'll survive. We'll just have to figure out what it looks like.